everyone, and welcome back to yet another political episode. Today, we are going to, starting today, we're going to see, what are the chances of what would 2024 be like, the presidential election in 2024, after the midterms? We can officially say, hey, we're halfway through, Biden's first term. I don't know. Well, we obviously don't know. First off, we are very divided when it comes to the president. Due to his health, he may not run. However, according to many sources, Biden is pretty hyped up about a second term. We do not know. I don't think he can make it due to his age. He's almost 80, and by this November, he will be the very first president. No president has served the executive office of the United States at the age of 80 when it comes to the president. No president has served the presidential office of the United States at the age of 80. And that's kind of a big thing, and that's kind of I think it's going to boggle our minds a little bit, because first off, I know our last few presidents have been a little older, but let's just see how today will the election of 2024 look like. My prediction. So first off, this video will probably be updated when the time progresses. So this probably won't be the results forever. This is all according to my opinion. Let's start off with the hardcore stuff. The states that voted hardcore. Those starting with Democrats. Vermont, the most Democrat state. Many of you guys may hardly disagree with me, but I do believe Vermont is the most Democrat state. First off, it voted 65% for Biden. It was the tallest and biggest win Biden has won in 2020. That's why I'm calling it the most Democrat state, quote, quote. If those numbers are to rise earlier. But otherwise, a lot of my community says Massachusetts is the most Democrat state. Yes, and by the way, that was Biden's second state by margin. He did good well. At a total of 65 to 64% of many residents voted for him. And that's what Massachusetts probably do. Rhode Island highly disapproves the president. However, it's a really high liberal atmosphere. So definitely I do feel that it would go Democratic. First off, we got to put in our thing here. I'm doing a Trump-Biden rematch because Trump is high in the polls when it comes to Republican primary. Many want Trump. DeSantis is in second place. So yeah, let's see. Trump versus Biden rematch. So looking at this, Biden has claimed 3 states so far. Of course, New York is going to go to him. New York, New Jersey, Delaware, his own state of Delaware, Maryland, the District of Columbia, and Connecticut. These are the states in the East, of course, Illinois, Oregon, Washington, California, and Hawaii. These are states that voted for him very hardcore, very radically, boosting him up to a total of 180. The rest, Virginia, these are the more dark blue. Trump carried West Virginia, Alabama, Mississippi, Louisiana, Arkansas, Missouri, Nebraska, Arkansas, South Dakota, Wyoming. So I'm going to go through all of them, but yes, Trump did. These are the counties. The states. If I'm using the word county, please forgive me. I've been looking at counties too much, but yeah. These states are expected to absolutely go to Trump. Now we just got to determine what the toss-up is. What the toss-up states will where they will go to. So let's start from the top. I do think Maine. It's an interesting state. Maine is has its conservative and its liberal side. Definitely, I do think the district two will go for Trump for sure, and District 1 will go for Biden. So yeah, we have that. But when it comes to winning the state of Maine, I'm gonna put that to a too close to call for now. Looking at New Hampshire, I do think for sure New Hampshire is going to Trump for this one. Uh, Maybe not as high as people were hoping, but definitely I do think it is a Trump win. Pennsylvania. It did vote for Biden. Many sources did say Trump would win Pennsylvania. He did actually good in 2020. He was in the lead, and then Biden catched up. Of course, Pennsylvania was the state that Biden won that won him the presidency. So, Pennsylvania, when it comes to Philadelphia and Pittsburgh, um, they do have a lot of big cities. So, I do think, however, Pennsylvania, I would put you for a too close to call. Well, actually, I'm going to give it to Trump. Simply because he won the state before, and Biden has had a horrible approval rating in the state. I do think Pennsylvania would definitely vote for Trump. Virginia is controversial. I had a lot of people saying, why did you make Virginia red in your last prediction? Well, the thing is, Virginia hates Trump. Yeah, Virginia has a bunch of Trump haters, but we also has a lot of Biden haters, too. Currently, the status of Virginia for Biden, his approval is pretty low. However, definitely when it came to Trump, his approval was more lower. So this one is yet very controversial. I'm going to put it on for a toss-up. Too close to call for now. North Carolina is growing in population, but however, I do think, just like Georgia, will stick up for Trump, covering these two. Florida going for Trump, so along with Texas, Kansas, Iowa for sure, Ohio, Minnesota. Yeah, and Trump has already won the presidency, and I don't see why he didn't. Minnesota for sure, I think will be voting for Biden. It has the Twin Cities over there. I will think actually now Virginia would go for Biden, simply because just like Minnesota, they have Arlington and Alexandria up in the north, but they also have many other cities spread it out everywhere. And also, even though Republicans did win in 2021 in the state, it's a very big toss up to call. Wisconsin will go for Trump. As for Michigan, I will go for Trump also. We're going to give Trump Michigan. Arizona, well, actually, no, I'm going to put Arizona as a toss-up. New Mexico's too close to call. We got to realize, Hispanic population has turned more conservative over the last couple of months. And depending on how they vote in 2022, the midterms, that is what's going to determine. As we speak, 19% of Hispanics approve of Joe Biden. That means there's a whole bunch of people that disapprove. Ultimately, there was a huge Republican victory in Texas. South Texas went pretty red due to the Maria Lopez victory. And she, a very influential to her own culture and a conservative herself. I feel that she will actually move the Hispanic people, not just in her district, not just in Texas, but in other states. like New Mexico, to the more conservative side. So New Mexico, I'm too close to call. It's definitely going to be a tilting margin, no matter what direction it's going to lean towards. I'm going to give Nevada to Trump. First time he's won the state. Alaska to Trump. I know in my prediction made it blue. However, I have decided to give it to Trump on this one because Trump won the state twice by a pretty good margin. And as of polls, Republicans seem to be holding on to Alaska despite the defeat of Sarah Palin a month ago. So, 317. Colorado, yeah, for sure. Colorado is going to stick with Biden. New Mexico, and I haven't figured out Maine yet. Maine. So we gotta learn about Maine's population. It's not like New Hampshire. New Hampshire is very libertarian and it's very flip flop. Maine, yes, it's kind of like New Hampshire. It has its own conservative area, but in the southish area and the coasts, it's pretty liberal. We have, I believe it's Portland, and Portland over there is the biggest city in Maine, and that is going to keep Cumberland County the most populous county in Maine, and that's probably going to influence Maine by a lot. Depending on, I also think Maine also cares about their resources also and the economy, because all this is probably going to hurt Maine. So, and we can always change this. I'll probably do a video about another opinion changing all this. But I do think Maine, not having a major city, will probably go Republican. Probably in a tilting margin, not as high as New Hampshire. Probably become more of an uncalled sort of deal. But definitely, I do think Maine, it would be more of a flip-flop sort of deal. New Mexico does not have any major cities. It has been carried by Republicans before, and as of polls this year, it is saying that Republicans are doing pretty well. They're not in the front of the lead, but I do think Republicans do have a chance with to win New Mexico. And I don't know, a lot of my community might disagree with this, but I don't know directly. But just looking at the recent demographics of political when it comes to ethnic groups, we're seeing a lot of Hispanics doing a huge flip. And this Hispanic flip has always existed, even during the 2020 presidential election. A huge flip. The counties that flipped the most were in southern Texas, though with great numbers. So I do think it would be a small victory, but Trump could win New Mexico. Ultimately, that could also change. So, yeah. And also, I bet you anything I'll end up changing my mind. So here is it. Here's the map. And I'll let you guys know. Stay tuned for the next video where we go predict more different types of elections. So this is 2024. Ultimately, I am not confident and sealed with my New Mexico decision, but I'm just going to leave it like this. It could change later on. So that is it. Thank you all for watching this prediction. So long now.